Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the financial aid process, in particular how to apply for financial aid, the award letter you get from your schools about your financial aid, and how the funds are distributed to your schools. Let's get started. All right, the first step is applying for financial aid. All financial aid is applied through the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA. So if you haven't heard of the FAFSA, you'll start hearing that pop up all the time, and that's what I'm referring to is the free application for federal student aid. It can be filled out online and should be completed as soon as you possibly can. There's no advantage to waiting on it. It takes about an hour to complete and ask questions about your finances, your parents' or guardians' finances, and some demographic information, number of people in the household, who's gone to school, who is in school. The idea of this is they're trying to figure out how much your family can afford to pay towards your education. And then from that, they can figure out how much the federal government's willing to kick in to help you out. This financial aid can be used at universities, community college, and many vocational schools. Most vocational schools, I should say. And so no matter what level of schooling you're going to, apply for financial aid. And you can start the FAFSA, save your progress. So you can actually start it today, fill out as much as you possibly can, see what other information you need, and then fill that information in over time as you get it. This is something you're going to be doing with your parents and guardians as well. If you're not living at home or you don't receive financial support from your parents, that can be determined on the form as well, and their information won't be necessary. So just start the form. That's all I got. Start the form. All right. So what happens next is you fill out the FAFSA, you put all this information in there. The U.S. Department of Education takes that information and they calculate what's called a student aid index. This value ranges from a low of negative 1,500 to a high of almost 1,000,000. What this number tells your school is how much financial needs you have. So if you're in the negative 1,500, that indicates that you're going to receive the full amount of Pell Grant, and you'll qualify for the full amount of all the different awards out there. So what happens next is the Department of Education, on the FAFSA form, you list up to 20 schools that you want to have your information sent to. They send just this SAI index number to those schools, and then the school uses that number as well as a bunch of information like how expensive the school is, how much other awards you've gotten, how much money is left over. They go through their own calculations and they determine how much you qualify for in terms of grants, scholarships, direct student loans, state level financial aid, local financial aid. So some colleges and universities and schools will have their own bucket of money that they can give kids who need a little extra help. So even if you don't think you might qualify for the federal stuff, you should still fill out a FAFSA because it applies you for all kinds of things that aren't just federal financial aid. So take that hour out of your time, fill that thing out, and get it turned in. Let the school tell you, hey, we have nothing for you, which at the worst thing that happens, you waste an hour of your life. They might come back and say, hey, you didn't qualify for federal stuff, but we have this stuff at our school, and we can give you an extra $1,000 towards your education, kind of thing. So it's worth filling out. Then, so after the school does all of that work and figures out exactly how much you qualify for, they'll send you a financial aid award letter. You'll get those, if you're going to school in the fall, you'll get those late spring kind of a thing. It'll detail exactly how much grants, scholarships, loans, and work study you qualified for, as well as any local or state financial aid that you qualified for. So it's going to be listing everything there. At that point, you'll know exactly what the school is going to cost you because you can subtract away all the things, all the grants and scholarships and free money you got, and that'll tell you like, okay, now I still owe this much. And then you can use that to make a decision about what school you want to go to. So if you're thinking about, if you've been accepted to a couple different schools, you've applied to a couple different schools, make sure you list all of them on the FAFSA, not just your favorite one. They'll all send you award letters. All right. So now, step 3, you've applied, you've gotten your award letter, you've decided which school you're going to. It's fall, you're getting ready to head to school for the first time. What happens is the money from all of the student loans and grants and all the financial aid stuff doesn't go to you. It goes directly to the financial aid office at your school. They use that money to pay down your tuition, room and board, all the fees and stuff at school. So they pay off that. Any leftover money, they'll write a check to you for that. So if there's any leftover funds, that goes to you to help pay for things like living expenses and whatever else, books and supplies and all that stuff. Oftentimes there aren't any remaining funds, but if there are, they'll come back to you. And then each year you're in school, you've got to fill out the FAFSA to redetermine your eligibility. So in case something happens with the financial status of your family or you while you're at school, you might be able to get more financial aid stuff or less if your family's doing better. Just remember that work-study funds, that's not money they're going to give you. That's money that you can earn during a work-study job on campus. If you're eligible for work-study, your financial aid office will help you find a job on campus. They'll actually usually place you in a job. They'll ask you like what kind of things you want to do. When I was going through school, I was thinking about being a chemistry major, so they actually got me a job working in a chemistry lab. I was cleaning glassware, not doing chemistry because I wasn't a chemist yet. But I was working in a lab, which was kind of cool to kind of see the process. So they'll work with you to try and find you jobs that work with what you want to do. And my big piece of advice is get to know the people at the financial aid office at your school. They're going to be a big part of your journey in school. So to know them well and have a good relationship, that's really important for you. They'll help explain all kinds of the nitty-gritty details that we definitely won't be covering in class. All right, that's it, my friends. That's the beginning process. The big idea today, apply using the FAFSA. Wait for that award letter, and then use that award letter to determine what school you want to go to based on how much each school is going to actually cost you in the end. And then when you get to school, don't worry. You don't have to manage all this stuff. All that money is going to flow through your financial aid office. They're going to use it to pay off all your stuff, or as much as they can, and then anything extra money comes to you as a check that they'll give you. All right, thanks, my friends. Have a great day.